Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And the topic for today is Sam Riegel says get a mirror for Dungeons and Dragons, or your Dungeons and Dragons 5e game. Now, look, why would you need to have a mirror? Well, honestly, there's lots of different reasons why you should have a mirror or why you should use a mirror in the game of Dungeons and Dragons outside of the normal applications that revolve around our normal day-to-day bits and pieces. Now, I did go to the community and I asked them on Facebook, can you please tell me how you would use a mirror in the game of Dungeons and Dragons? So I asked the question, I got a collection of answers, I then did some research myself, and I also spotted Sam Riegel one day. They got themselves into a situation where they actually needed a mirror to do something, and nobody had a mirror, and the only person in the party who had a mirror was Sam Riegel, and I thought that was just fabulous. So what can you use it? Well, Sam Riegel would say you can look at your own beautiful face. Now, I think when Sam says something like this, it's more in jest, because what he's talking about is that he wants to look at his own face, not your face, his face. You can use that mirror for shaving off that facial hair, if you need to shave your legs, if you want to shave the monster, but maybe simply, if you want to sort of scare the monster and give it a bit of a freak out, you can use it to shave in appropriate locations so that it can't stay warm anymore, and therefore you can use it sort of as a bargaining chip. You don't tell me what I want to know and I will shave you. So there's another reason why you might want to use your mirror. It makes it a little bit easier if you have a mirror when you're shaving. You can use it to determine if somebody is in disguise. Now, when I say in disguise, I don't necessarily mean you can just look in a mirror and figure out if somebody's in disguise. I'm talking about a particular individual who might be trying to be in disguise. As we know, if you wanted to determine if an NPC, you're trying to figure out if a vampire is in disguise, you use a mirror. Now, of course, don't pull out the mirror while they're right there in front of you, because then, of course, they're probably going to attack you as soon as you figure out that they are, in fact, not reflecting in the mirror. So, and if once you know they are a vampire, the gig is up. So make sure to do it when they're not looking. That's the best time. When else is a mirror really useful? Well, when you don't want to look directly into the eyes of anybody or a monster. So looking at the Medusa or Gorgon, as some people have gone on about, but it depends on which Gorgon are we talking about. Are we talking about the one for Dungeons and Dragons, or are we talking about the one that's related to the Greek mythology? It all sort of gets mishmashed. If you are trying to look at the Umber Hulk, use that mirror. If you're trying to deal with the Basilisk, use the mirror to indirectly look at them without actually looking at them, if you know what I mean. Of course you know what I mean. Of course you know what I mean. What about to reflect moonlight or sunlight to blind your enemies or to create some sort of distraction? I think that could work. I know it. I'm sure you can. It's been used before. We've seen it in movies many times. So absolutely use that for a distraction and for blinding somebody. What about if you need to use it for just looking around a corner? You don't want to stick your head around the corner. Stick your head around the corner, it gets blown off, right? So what you do is you put your mirror around the corner, just a little bit of it, just so you can see what's around the other side. Very, very simple technique, not hard to figure out. We've seen this all before. All easy techniques. So lots of good reasons why you might want to use it. What about if you need to signal some allies or somebody who's far away? You can use the mirror. If you don't have spells that can do that, you can just use light and a mirror and signal them when you're ready to move in with your ambush on a location or for whatever reason. So it's a good way of signaling to allies. Of course, it could also signal to your enemies, but hopefully they haven't figured out that you are using light and a mirror for that very purpose. It can be used to help you create a disguise for yourself. So if you've got a disguise kit, often part of the disguise kit is a mirror, and if you don't have a mirror, or you need additional mirrors to help that process, or you're dealing with multiple individuals at the same time, trying to get the job done real fast, you're going to need more than one mirror. So make sure everybody has their own personal mirror so you can sort of decorate them up rub in the oils and paint them up and use your makeup on them just to make everything look right and correct and so forth. The mirror is also used in the scry spell, although it does need to be a silver mirror, not just your standard mirror. So if you don't have a silver mirror, problematic, but certainly a mirror is involved in that spell. For many, many years, they've been using mirrors to create what's called the telescope. Now, of course, you need other components to make that possible, but a telescope allows you to see further. Now, you can buy a telescope in the player's handbook, but it's really expensive, so maybe making up your own telescope is a good idea for those of you who don't want the exorbitant prices that they are currently charging. I don't know where they come up with these prices, but apparently it's very, very expensive. You can use your mirror to reverse a message on a page or on a wall or wherever, and that sometimes messages are laid in a dungeon and they have been reversed. So by using your mirror, you can look at the picture or the image or the message, and it will reverse, and then you'll be able to read it because it has been reversed. One of the most common strategies and sneaky tricks that dungeon masters might play in your game is to reverse the message in some way, and therefore requiring a mirror to be able to decipher it would be really, really useful. Okay, what about if you want to create something like a periscope? Now, a periscope, again, a bit of fabrication required, but you still need mirrors for that, and that allows you to see over the top of things, around corners, but often really useful for seeing over the top of something, particularly if you can't reach up with your mirror to look above the wall, and so you need a bit of distance involved. So you're going to use a selection of different mirrors to create your periscope. You can use a mirror to collect sunlight to make an area that is dark lighter. By using the light reflected from the sun or the moon, you can reflect it into a location. Now, why would you do that? It might be that throwing in a torch or a pebble with the light spell cast on it would activate a trap. But something like this, just reflecting the light into that location, isn't going to activate the trap. It's not going to trip the tripwire. It's not going to activate the pressure plate. So a good reason to be using your mirror. Again, there's so many uses for the mirror. You can use the mirror to examine wounds that are hard to see or locations that are difficult to see or get at, which is again sort of another application of the periscope. Now this requires a lot of play in play by the dungeon master, and that is you could use the mirror to trap an evil spirit or demon depending on the nature and type of evil spirit or demon it is. If it's the kind of demon or creature or monster or spirit that requires a mirror to trap it, then you'll need that mirror. And you can't count on there being a mirror around at just the appropriate time so that you can use it to trap them in some way. So there are many different reasons, and as we know, witches often like mirrors, and mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? We know about this, don't we? So there's lots of different ways you can use the mirror. If you found this useful, fantastic. I have hundreds of videos for players and dungeon masters, which you are welcome to go and check out. Make sure, if you want to support the channel, make sure to check out my Patreon page, where you get access to the live streams that go unlisted on YouTube and priority on the videos that I make. I also have affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon if you want to support the channel so I keep doing videos. I also have a merchandise shelf down the bottom underneath the video, which you can go and check out and buy some stuff if you really feel like it. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, and I do a lot of them. As it happens, many, many videos. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.